the tree falls over, you want a refund? Dude, the tree's not going to fall over. Bottom left-hand side, we have ourselves the blue Protoss players. We kick this off. PtitDrogo going up against the red Terran uThermal, both in the Root Unity house in Korea. So playing out here on the Korean server for Europe versus Europe. What's up? RLDM comes in with the $12 donation as well. Says, happy holidays and thanks for a great year of good StarCraft casting. Thank you so much, Arald. Thank for the RLDM for the $12 on top of the 5,000 bits on board. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Port's in a boring meeting, so you decided to throw money at Wardy. Well, Port, I'll give you a special right decoration. Alright, well, barracks in the middle of the map as we go from one TvP into another, then we got another after this as well. Apparently it's just TvP day. As you see the Reaper coming up on the top side, so getting this ready to go. Look at man finishing up in a factory back at home, so it's not overly aggressive from uThermal. As you see this probe pulling up towards the top right to scout as well. Meanwhile, we have this SCV from uThermal just scouting around and looking to see what's going on. This SCV seen what's up as we see a Cybernetics core being popped down as well. Where's my pen gone? You know, I just wrote out somebody's name, like not even I just had I just had my pen. I wrote something not long ago. Ay. SCV's gonna go and help out with that Reaper, as the Reaper does pick up a probe kill, but is a little bit stuck in the corner, and it will be chased by the Stalker. Will it actually get out of here alive? Oh my god, it will. That's a good meme. You know what else is a good meme? The fact my pen has just disappeared. Where the fuck is it? This literally makes no sense. I have to get a new one out of the pack now. Oh no, there it is, behind my phone. Oh god, I'm just so blind. No wonder I need glasses. Alright, to the game. Drogo is setting up with the Robo facility, so Robo coming through. This time the Reaper comes back in, mostly just a scout. Sees the Robo, so actually uThermal's pretty well set on what's going on at the moment. Stalk on the way out, Gateway coming through. You see a couple of extra gates coming down here. Starport on the way up in this main base, going to get ready to lift up and drop down the tech lab. Cyclone comes in, picks up a probe kill. Yeah, natural CC is about to finish up here as well, so that'll float down to the low ground very shortly. Banshee is on its way up, so uThermal again still sticking very aggressively with the 1-1-1 sort of setup at the moment. Banshee, the tank and so on. I wonder right now with the meta of, you know, what Terran players are doing and Protoss always going into this Robo free gate, I wonder how well just like free racks would do, like staying in combat and just kind of like going for like a big old push. Cyclone just sitting out the front here as you see this Banshee coming across the top side. Banshee shell now coming over to the left, and we are going to be seeing a shield battery dropping down in the main base. So Banshee wants to come around in towards the natural. Couple of Stalkers ready to push that Banshee away. Forge and Twilight in the main. And there's over on the right hand side this Observer just hanging out there. And is just watching a few more of those Marines and that Cyclone. So Everyone just chilling. Banshee moving over. At least this TvP has turned into something a little bit more competitive so far. Last game was either one player shutting down the other or the other way around. This game actually is kind of feeling like there's a lot of potential here and there for this game to go on a bit. Interested to see how this push goes, of course, though, because this could just end the game and completely just deny everything I just said. First unit going down. Sentry's going to get a force field or two, but they do fall as well. Observer gets scanned. It's actually kind of a nice pick off. At the same time, the Banshees in the main find 5 probes. They're going to loop around to the natural. Now, he just killed the Observer here, which means that this set of units on the low ground don't have an Observer to work with. Stalkers have just pulled back from the main, so uThermal will do some good harassment as he pushes forwards. Tank sieging up. Good damage so far. Marines trying to push in with this. 2 Banshees just going to be in a little bit of trouble trying to figure out what's best to do. They get themselves a Stalker kill at least. You're going to see one Banshee going down. The other Banshee is just about able to get away into that corner for a moment, but it doesn't last too much longer. But now bunkers coming up. Those Banshees have been such a distraction. It's given uThermal a lot of time to press forwards here. And he's starting to look very, very good in this position. Cyclone locks onto the Nexus as well. Some damage being done there. More bunkers coming up, making a bit of a wall off even as we see Stalkers just dropping down, trying to spread the tank fire out a little bit, but the tanks are target firing onto the Immortal and the other Stalkers here. And even as the tanks go down, there's still 2 bunkers full of Marines. There's still a lot for uThermal to utilize here. Although that said, I mean, one of the Immortals survives, another tank just shows up now. So uThermal won't be able to keep pressing. And across the map there was, I guess it was the SCVs over here that went down actually. I assumed there was something across the map, but that is incorrect. So Drogo is actually going to be pushing across here and trying to press back into this. He's down 10 workers, so uThermal has a natural economy lead. Going into 2 more factories, uThermal's going to continue playing into mech here in this TvP. As units continue to kite away, all the way over to the right side. Zalt goes down, and SCV's pulling forwards as well, but not able to really do all that much. Temple Archive's about to complete. Again, currently just got an Observer with those few Stalkers, Immortal, and a couple of Zealots underneath that Observer as well. +1 armor currently being chrono boosted here as we see the Archon on its way out, coming up to completion in the next few moments. A couple of Cyclones on the way through here from uThermal as well. Armor drops down in the back of the natural expansion. Those Banshees just pushing out onto the map to see what they can keep on doing. In fact, he's just still got Banshees here. It's crazy. He's killed 3 so far, Drogo. But uThermal just keeps building Banshees. He just doesn't stop. The man's a madman. He just keeps going. Couple more Zards warp in. Scan over towards the naturals. Going to see that Command Center Lifson comes up towards the 3rd base here. Observer overhead as we see the 1st Marine going down. These couple of Widow Mines getting picked off as well. And into the main base, we see these Banshees are going to try and go for even more damage. Finds 3, 4, 5 workers right away. And then down to the natural, away from where that recall of the Observer was. So, I mean, Observer's still running. There's not even anything to kill these Banshees yet, though. Even if the Observer shows up, what's going to fight back? The non-existent Stalkers? Oh my god, 15 workers going down. uThermal is dealing so much damage here. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1. Not quite 1 in the end. Well, here we go. Zalt and Archons and Immortal as well pushing forwards. Those higher tanks going down very quickly. Zalt still running around as Cyclones locking on. SCVs pull away into the corner, and this counterattack at Drogo is very powerful. He may not have much economy back at home, but that might not matter here if he's able to just clean the Terran player up right now, as a couple of Archons do pick up a kill. Although the Archon number is now dropping. Those SCVs stuck in a corner. The Banshee is actually currently getting a lot of kills because there's no Observer here, so there's no detection. Cyclones lock on as well, so extra units going down, and, well, 3 Stalkers and an Immortal get out of this, but remember, uThermal has workers advantage. He has a 3rd base landed in mining. Oh, and 2 Banshees come back towards the main. Cloak, 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 cloak! Cloak! uThermal, that's very lazy. Not to cloak those, a bit of a mistake there. That definitely could have been those Banshees saved. There was not an Observer with the Stalkers at that moment. And they're obviously going to get out of range on the main. You see Drilling Claws on the way up as well. uThermal's mech army is starting to kind of make this happen. And I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. A couple of units here in the center getting picked away at. As Drogo's actually going to pick off these rocks so he can maybe come around to the top side pathway a bit more easily, allow him to push in towards this third base, which uThermal has just gotten set up. With that third base down in position here, uThermal is able to obviously have a very, again, put used to his 56 workers. Drogo hasn't even bothered trying to rebuild probes, so he's completely committed to this attack. Drogo doesn't even have the money to spare to spend to buy a warp prism here. Oh, he does. He has one already. Okay, that's why. I was just thinking, like, why is he warping in at home then? Why didn't he warp in off the prism? That actually doesn't make sense. One of those assumptions you make because the player made a mistake. Aye, aye, aye. I mean, definitely should have warped in off the prism. I mean, the results show up right now anyways, but it still would have been a bit faster. As Drogo is going to try and get ready to push forward. See the Banshees back towards the main. I mean, the Cyclones just lock on. They do so much damage. As the Widow Mines will clean up the Zealots in the front. I mean, the Widow Mines go down, sure, but the Cyclones should just be able to come forwards, lock onto all of this, and get some good damage done. As you see, probes going down to Banshees over here as well. There's the Cyclones locking on again. Currently seeing the Warp Prism micro to kind of break those lock-ons, kind of one of the big things here. At the same time, as Drogo finally finds damage, uThermal is also finding himself quite a bit of damage with these Banshees, so again, just keeps on dishing out the pain at the moment as we're going to see the Cyclones keep on locking in, and this time a couple of Stalkers going down. Prism was in warping mode, so it wasn't keeping up with the army, was a little bit out of range. And he's going to be seeing there's a couple of Archons going down. This is pretty much going to be it. I mean, still more SCVs are dropping, so damage still being done here by Drogo, but eventually he just doesn't have an economy, and eventually, because we have top left-hand side, our red Protoss player is down a map. It's PtitDrogo. And at the bottom right-hand side, we've got our blue Terran, Team Liquid's uThermal. Game number 2. As uThermal is chilling out, up 1-0 in this best of 5. CV just wandering over to the left-hand side and seeing a factory dropping down. And again, not really committing to a huge proxy. Just this racks coming up the right. As you do see the Reaper coming out. I mean, it's again more of a mind game than anything else, as the Reaper is going to be seen on this side of the map as well. Access about to finish up in the natural. Stalkers on the way out. And again, this factory just about to finish up. As we probably just see a Tech Lab build right away, straight into a Cyclone. And it's generally the way that this goes. Command Center drops in on the natural. We'll see a little bit late, but you do have that faster factory, so the faster Cyclone to apply pressure with. So we'll see if he's going to be able to do anything with this. How can you mess up so bad to proxy your own base? Proxying your own base is, you know, is mind games, you know. Port, gift now to sub to Aurora. Welcome back, Aurora, for 11 months in a row. This time via Port. Port just nailing people today. Well, now what do we do? Do we put Aurora on the box as well? Aye, aye, aye. Reaper goes down, as we do see the command center continue to come up in the natural. Yes, that was Port's 335th gifted sub. Some say he'll stop at 337. Was Bunny Mana casted or will be replay casted later? We're going to cast Bunny Mana and Denver Drogo after this not after this best of 5, after the finals. It'll be from replays, we'll know the results, but we don't really have a better choice, so otherwise we're going to have the players playing super late into the night, and obviously we wanted to try our best to avoid that. Prism is setting up in the main base. So Prism on the way out. A couple of gateways coming down here. And you guys see that stim pack coming down on the main base. You'll see another Rax coming down. Starport moves away. Tech lab onto the factory. Really not many units here, really just those wooden mines that were made. So Cyclone into wooden mines, getting ready for this drop. We'll see if uThermal can get some damage done early here. River Bay going to get dropped down in the main base, and again, obviously going to be able to get a couple of maybe Colossus or Disruptors on the way from this. Colossus in general have been kind of a go-to for PvT as of late, so possibly going to be seeing the Colossus here. Oh my god, Drogo just doesn't... Oh no. Oh my... Well, that's how you lose 12 workers. He was bringing his Prism across the map, so obviously he was looking to do damage with this, and that's why he wasn't paying attention at home, but... I mean, 12 workers is very difficult to recover. As I mean, these Stalkers get free, and then they have to lift up and get out, and, well, the Prism is already locked onto you by the Cyclone. Cyclone going to go out of range. No, stays in. Oh, my God. So these Stalkers get right now 4 workers, and that's about it. These SCVs can go back to mining. And this was an absolute disaster for PtitDrogo here. An absolute disaster. Well, he did kill the Medivac at least, so he got rid of the Medivac and the Widow Mine, so that will not continue at least. On the far left side, pylon is set up behind the mineral line. We do see a probe ready to potentially drop down a third Nexus as well. Nope, gonna pull back. Okay, okay. Well, Twilight Council is, again, as I mentioned, dropped down here. A couple of gateways will be added on as well. We do see some sentries and some stalkers just going to be coming across. I mean, Drogo, I feel is like it's almost in like a little position of desperation already, but I mean, he's going to have a Colossus in just a few moments, but there's already Marines and a tank pressing forward. Scan sees the Colossus. uThermal is going to stim from the probes anyways. I guess with the tank support, he can actually do a decent job, splits the Marines as well. Yeah, I mean, 3 workers isn't a lot, obviously. Don't think anyone's going to tell you that it is. Obviously just wanted to try and get some damage done. I feel like there was more potential for damage there. Another Colossus on the way up then, and obviously uThermal knowing about the Colossus is a big thing for him, because now he can already begin to prepare against them without having to worry too much about what's, you know, what else is going on and stuff like that, so... It's going to be seeing the Medivac loading up with those Marines and heading out through the bottom side. Going to be heading across as we see some extra gates on the way down. Engineering Bay builds up from uThermal as he hasn't gone into any upgrades at all of his own just yet. Although the Protoss upgrades are fairly late as well, so he's not going to be too punished from that. As that Medivac comes over to the left. Port! Continuing to gift his subs out. This time to Serpent 1. Welcome, Serpent 1. To the Wardy family. Welcome. Good to have you. Thank you, Port, for a gifted sub, as we're going to be seeing Marines picking off a pylon in the back of the main. Medivac lifts up a few Marines again and is going to go running off down to the bottom. Put some attack starts up on the engineering bay, and again this Marine just pulling back as well. All of these tanks, Marines gathering on up. And yeah, I mean, third base of uThermal is just going to come down nice and easily. uThermal is definitely the one who's taking the better positions in these games. Man, can you imagine uThermal just stomps this bracket like 3-0, 3-0, 3-0? It's possible. It's possible. I mean, 3-0 solo now 1-0 up against Drogo. Game 2 is looking great. Has either Bunny or Trap to play in the finals. Man, it is so awesome, by the way. This tournament was so stacked, and when we get down to it, like the top 4 is like two European players, and Bunny and Trap as well are not the players who, obviously they're very good, but I feel like they're the players that we don't see all of the time making it very far into these online events. So it's really cool to see those guys making it to the top 4 here. As Marines are going to pick off the bit of a mineral line already. 8-9 workers going down. This drops straight in. Obviously, Colossus will clean it up, but it's still pretty good damage. I mean, 9 workers. He's actually killing all the Stalkers. What is going on? Man, that spread was kind of insane. He killed a bunch of Stalkers with this. Ten workers going down as we do see a few Zards wolfing into the main base. Marines coming in very quickly though, so Drogo has no real choice other than to pull out of there, as we do see the pylon going down on the bottom side as well. So again, just really haven't seen the map kind of controlled at the moment by uThermal. He's the one that's all over the place. He's not allowing the Warp Prism to get anything done. Tanks and Marines up the right hand side. Single Marine going to be simming forwards. This Marine tank is a style from uThermal that we've seen very consistently over the years. He brings it back every so often and kind of does it when he doesn't really know what else to do in TvP, because it does require kind of a pretty specific response to deal with. Tell you what, Colossus and Archons are pretty good response to it though, and while uThermal I feel has been killing it this game, I feel like this still has some chance for Drogo, but he's going to be out of position with the army, and that's going to be a huge issue. Maybe seen those SCVs taking a ton of damage. 9 workers down already. Well, here we go. These Marines pushing forwards. Tanks are going to fire, and already an Archon going down. Man, it's really just the tanks are going to try and solo this army almost. But, well, the Marines just don't last very long at all, so there isn't much to protect the tanks. Tanks will now try and target down a couple Colossus. We'll target fire this one on the backside as well. Doesn't quite get it as he scans for the vision. Clean up by Drogo, as I mentioned. It's a pretty good army composition to deal with what uThermal is building into at the moment. Marines, tanks, medevacs from uThermal all gathering on the right side. They're going to be seeing Archons and Colossus moving through the center. We'll want to try and keep on pressing in as we see the +2 attack upgrade coming in on the forge. So, looking for the +2 attack. Couple of siege tanks on the way out as we have these zealots. And we keep on dealing some damage as well. Again, these few SCVs just... Okay, and that siege tank up. Marines are going to get the Warp Prism. Nice pick off there. Very nicely done. Medevac goes down to the bottom side, so that gets picked off. A couple of laser beams there, and again, just going to be seeing this army of uThermal backing away a little bit. Storm +2 Prism all on the way up. Nexus dropping down on the 4th base. And again, a few of these Marines going to be able to grab a quick kill. I mean, the tanks make it very difficult to push into, right? Because as soon as you start pushing in here, you're committing into the Terran's defense. Like, uThermal wants you to push into him. It's actually very annoying because uThermal is across the map with these Marines. Oh, the Warp Prism is just going to get away in time. It's somewhat fortunate for Drogo. A moment earlier, and the Warp Prism would have died, but, oh, I mean, uThermal is still going to be in the mineral line for 5-6 workers. Lifts up, goes to the main because he forced the recall on the natural. So into the main, Stalkers warp in there to defend. uThermal is just, again, pulling Drogo around the bases at the moment. Just doing what he can to keep him, well, pinned back, harassed. To make life difficult for the Protoss player. All of those tanks siege on the bottom right. We do see again some more Archons just rallying over the Immortal, the Colossus. All of this coming across to gather up here. That one Stalker of Drogo goes to the upper right hand side, and he's going to be having the lone scan coming down. uThermal trying to find that army, unsure where it is. uThermal with only the 3 bases means that he's going to be very all in very soon. Like, if he doesn't take another expansion, he's just going to have this one army and absolutely nothing else. So time is ticking by from here. Marines coming in, a couple of probes going down. Nexus taking quite a lot of damage. Marines will get behind the mineral line here as they see. Well, again, more probes going down. I like this though. I mean, uThermal's giving up very cheap units for worker kills. I mean, he's keeping that economy low enough from Drogo that he won't be completely overwhelmed by the Protoss as he pushes across the map and gets aggressive. Tank siege. Fires away. Zell and the Stalk again push back there. So many Marines. Obviously, I mean, it's kind of like a glass cannon army almost, because the Marines, as they melt, then the tanks are kind of left on their own without support. Then they go down very quickly too. So it really is a very kind of glass cannon-y army. Super high damage output, but it can die. They can die real quick. Well, one medevac goes up to the top side. uThermal bringing his Marines out into the center. In fact, just his Marines, his Archons are left down over here. Actually going to be seeing other Archons, the tanks. The hallucination Zealots are going to actually be a pretty big deal. They actually take a few of the first shots on the siege tanks, but honestly, Drogo was just walking into an absolute massacre for himself. The Marines don't get taken down because they're up to the top side. The Prism sieges up on top of the tanks, which is questionable to say the least, because there were still Marines underneath it as well. And Drogo just taking a fight which he doesn't need to take. I mean, okay, this is uThermal's fourth that he's trying to set up into, so denying that is nice. But he didn't need to fight all the way in there when he could have come in from this direction and denied that for a few moments. Now we see those tanks moving across the map. Gonna siege up. Drogo's army is in range for a moment, and oh my god. I mean, the Marine stim, there is not really many storms left. I think there's one storm available here. The Colossus are super vulnerable as well. Those Archons are on their own as well, also just sectioned off. And now we're going to be seeing the another Archon going down. Storm is split away from, and this is pretty much game. Ooh, more storms on the high ground though. It's something, but it's not a lot, as we're going to be seeing the Marines and the tanks continuing across towards the left-hand side. You see the mortar going down, and yeah, just a little bit more damage being done. Tanks will siege up once more. Stims up. Zealots and Stalkers taking damage once again. I'm just going to be seeing these Marines getting rid of the pylon. Nexus in a lot of trouble. Marines going to stim on over towards the third base, and this is pretty much going to be it, as all of these probes are going down. 14 workers killed. I mean, that's pretty much just GG. uThermal takes game number 2 of this best of 5. Like, you know, between the break music just becomes me being like, beep boop, boop 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 beep 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 boop 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 boop. I would listen to it once. Again, sorry, I forgot to put the decorations on the tree just because the players were getting going. Let's kick off into game 3 though. To the bottom left side, our red Protoss player is PtitDrogo, down 0-2 in this best of 5. Top right, our blue Terran player from Team Liquid, uThermal. What's up, everyone out in the chat? How are you all feeling today? Good to see you. Obviously, some of the earlier games are leaving a lot to be desired, but starting to have a lot of fun in here. Again, after this, we've got Bunny versus Trap, and then our grand final best of 5 as well. So we've still got some matches to come today. We'll also go in after the grand final and cast the couple of matches we had earlier that weren't broadcast. PtitDrogo, Denver, and Bunny versus Mana. Is Wikipedia not accurate, or are we playing Cerulean twice? Definitely meant to be playing Cerulean, aren't we? We played Blue Shift, Port Alexander, Cerulean third. Yeah, we're good. God, Wikipedia. So incorrect. It's going to be seeing the Reaper here is going to pick up a couple of probe kills already. This is really, really nice. And this bunker now coming up on the front as well, as Marines are going to start going into it. Already just going to start putting a lot of pressure onto this natural, and Drogo Going to have to find a response. He is dropping down a Stargate as uThermal goes into the starport and the Tech Lab factory at home. This Stalker going to commit to try and get the SCV, but it just jumps into the bunker anyways. Now the Stalker will take quite a lot of damage. Reaper will be able to stay in range of it. Grenade to try and bop it, and it does just get bopped to the high ground. It will still be chased. That Stalker's going to die. Stalker down. Drogo is in a lot of trouble at the moment. Reaper and a couple of Marines jumping back into that bunker, and the Nexus still taking some damage. Shield battery will drop down in the mineral line, and another Marine ready to jump in. Oh my god, this Stalker's dead as well. No, Stalker, don't do it, buddy. Okay, he's actually not going to get chased all the way. You just get back to the bunker then. You see the pressure continuing. This Nexus is just in so much trouble. Stalker's taking quite a little bit of damage. SCV here to repair as well, though. I mean, the shield battery being drained pretty quickly, honestly. The SCV jumps back into the bunker as the shots come in. Yeah, it's nice, though. I mean, it keeps the bunker from being fully repaired all the time. Here comes the Oracle. I mean, okay, sure, you get this SCV kill, but it costs you an Oracle. Now the Stalkers go down anyways. And Drogo just types GG. uThermal takes